Hi, Sally Hancock back here, and today, or this time, I'm going to be making wand pens. So I thought I'd try these out first, and I saw a tutorial for using clay and just covering the pen with the clay, and then you bake it in the oven. And I wasn't sure if it would melt. She gave a few brands of pens that would be fine to put in the oven, but I didn't want to buy those. I just went to the dollar store and thought I'd try it out first. So I used this Extreme Smooth ballpoint pens that look like this. And then I also bought these Jot, just plain black ones, because they looked a lot like the Bic ones. And the Bic ones was a kind that she said would work. So they didn't have those at the dollar store, so I just got those and thought I'd try them out. And they baked up just fine and didn't melt, but you have to take the end out so you can take the pen cartridge out. So to take this out before you bake it. And the way I made it, I did not like how it ended up looking. This one has a green end, so I'll put it back together and show you what it looks like. I kind of made it too thick at the end, so it just looked weird. And I thought maybe I could paint it, but instead I just covered the end with some clay, and then I'm going to try baking that and then see if I can stick it back in. I think that would look better. So that's what I'm going to do with that one. The black one looked better, but I'd like to make one and kind of thin out the end nearer where the pen is. So I just thought I would do that on camera and show you. Oh, and then I just kind of decorated it and kind of drew some little lines with, I can't remember, I think this comb. And then on this one, since my sister is trying to embrace her Slytherin, I made a little snake wrapping around the top of this one and just kind of made a little snake head up there. So I thought that turned out pretty cute. So I think I'll do that again for hers and try to make this look a little bit better. So I'm using Sculpty 3 clay, and this color is hazelnut. So they whipped up so fast. They were so easy. I thought it would be a lot more challenging, and I've been fretting about it for days, thinking about, oh, I've got to do this, and it just seemed so hard. So I got a rolling pin. I didn't bring that upstairs with me, but you don't need it thick. It's basically just to make the pen look like wood. So I had used a rolling pin at first, but I don't have that with me. So I just kind of squished it around and just kind of squished the clay on there. And I think I might want to make more of a blobby at the end so it looks, I don't know, like there's something more to hold on to. So I'm just gonna kind of play around with it, but I definitely want it, I think that's too much clay. Just pinch some off there. And I definitely want it thinner at the end. So you don't want to cover it up, but I'm going to kind of taper it so that the clay is pretty thin at the tip. And then just kind of wipe off the end there. Just kind of get that out of there, because I definitely don't want that there when it bakes. Okay, I think that the end looks pretty good. It's kind of hard when it's just a straight cylinder, but I think putting clay on this end will help. Okay, so now I will just, I'm sure there is a much tidier way to do this. I made it much tidier before, but I think it could look a little more rustic this way. So I'll just kind of make a little ball at the end here. That might take a little bit longer to bake, but I think it'll be okay. I saw a lot of them put like a bead and then cover it, but I think just something kind of knobbly at the end will look okay. So I'll just kind of smoothen this out a little bit. I think it looking lumpy makes it look more like wood. So I don't mind it looking lumpy. On the other ones, I kind of rolled it. I just rolled it like that to smooth it out, but I kind of like it like this, I think. That part feels thicker. And then I think to get a little wood grain, I'm gonna maybe kind of comb it just a little bit here and there, just really light. Okay, and then I'll just take a little, very small amount, and I feel, you know, like I was in grade school again, you know, how that's always so easy to make a little snake with clay. So just get it to whatever length you want, and then I just wrapped it around the top like that. And let's see, I just took the comb and poked some little eyes. This one's tinier, so it might be a little bit harder. Get them in there, okay. Then I made like a little tongue, kind of. Just a really tiny piece, but I think I tried to get it to look forked when it was on, but I couldn't do that very well. So maybe I'll try to do that in my hand before, oh, there we go. Not the greatest, but I think it will do. Okay, so that is ready to get baked. Now I'm going to cover this end like I did this other piece here. So basically I did it the same way that I did the pen. Grain in there. Okay, and so then on the side it says to bake it at 275 for 15 minutes per 1/4 inch thickness. So this end is going to be, well, let's see how thick it is. It's about 3/4 of an inch, but I'm worried about baking it too long. Oh, I didn't show you how I took apart the pens, but basically I just took some pliers, and this part comes out pretty easily, and then the pen has a little red thing on that you have to take off, and then it just slips out of this. So it's pretty easy to put back together and take apart. So that's how I did the pen. And so I will go bake these and show you how they turned out. Okay, while that is baking, I am going to try painting the end of this pen brown and see what that looks like. I saw a lot of tutorials also where they just did hot glue and then painted it. I was worried about the paint staying on, you know, with it being a pen and you'd use it quite a bit. So I have this chocolate brown paint. The price tag's covering it up, but it's a hobby paint that I got at Hobby Lobby that's made for painting like plastic figures. I used it to repair some action figures that I had bought because some of the paint had worn off. So anyway, let us give it a try. Okay, so I had troubles figuring out what setting I had on my camera. So anyway, here is the tip of the pen that I painted. It's not exactly the same color, but you know, it all looks brown at least. And then here is the result of the tips that I baked for 15 minutes. Too much, too much. So I decided to try again and try it for 5 minutes. And here's the tip. It turned out, but when I put it on, it all kind of came off. So because I was pushing too hard on it, and so it slipped down off of the edge where it was and cracked. So it worked. It's plenty hard enough. So I think if I was careful, I could get it on. I think I'm just going to leave the tip black. I don't think it looks that bad. And so here is the pen. I'm going to call it a success. And so if you want to paint the tip, you could, if you could, you know, find one that matches a little bit better. I think it would look better. I think I may try one last time to bake some more to finish off this one, since I did end up with the clay so thick around there. So I'm going to try putting some on a tip again and baking it and see what happens. So okay, this just came out of the oven, so I'm going to try it when it's still a little bit warm and hope that maybe it won't crack. Oh, let's just gently push it down. Oh, I think that's good. I still am not happy with that little thing there. Maybe I could, I don't know, maybe glue some trim or something around that maybe. But I like the way this snake turned out a lot better than this little guy. But that's okay. That's okay. I think it turned out okay. And like I say, maybe I'll try to make that look a little bit better. But I got it to go on and it looks fine. I think it's down there far enough. And so here is my Harry Potter wand pen. So awesome. So fun. So fun. Okay. That should do it. Thanks for watching.